Are you struggling to hold your team accountable and find yourself getting sucked back into their work? In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 questions that can absolutely step change your leadership impact and increase the accountability in your team. My name is Helen Bryant. I'm a leadership coach. Here on YouTube, I share weekly lessons helping managers to be brilliant leaders. This challenge of holding your team accountable, having people who step up, are proactive, and just take charge of their work is a common one. It comes up in workshops. I've had clients talk about it. They just say, I just get involved. I'm back in and I'm trying to do the important things that I should be doing, but I just don't have time for that because I'm too involved in this day to day. And when we dig down and look at the root causes, it is often because as managers, they jump in and they tell without really thinking. Somebody comes with a problem, you tell them what to do, you solve that problem. But the problem with this, it's an incredibly short-term strategy, because what you're saying to your team is, I make these decisions, I solve these problems. Don't worry, you don't need to be accountable. You just do your bit and I'll do all the rest. You don't want that. What you want to be thinking about is creating an environment where you empower your team, where your role as a leader is to guide them, bring clarity to what it is that needs doing, but then be an unblocker, a support, and a coach. And the more you jump in telling people what to do, the less you are guiding, unblocking, and coaching. So the use of questions and developing a coaching style in how you manage can be an incredibly effective way of stopping yourself joining in and telling people what to do and helping your team to think through and work out what they need to do, which in turn will reassure you that they know what they need to do. So you will let go, they will feel empowered, and the work gets done in a much better way. To me, this is the absolute key of being a great manager, leading well, is the ability to empower someone and then let go. People hate micromanagers, especially micromanagers who jump in and out and in and out. It makes their team nervous. They don't want it. They want space to get on and do the work. But in order to do that, they need to be first very clear of what it is you are asking them to do. Then you want to use these questions to help them. And when you start doing this, some people are going to love it. Absolutely love it. Brilliant. I have space. I'm empowered, and get on. Other people aren't going to like it because they don't like that sense of accountability in case they do something wrong. So the joy of these questions is a bit like a dance. You're finding out what the person thinks. You're going to learn the right level of support to what they need. And between you, you will create this empowering and accountable environment. Okay, let's get into them. What are the questions? The first question is a 2-parter. What do you see the priorities are for the coming quarter? Do you foresee any issues in achieving them? Accountability starts far out from when you first set those objectives at the beginning of the year. You are laying out a plan and an expectation of work that you want your team members to deliver. And the quarter is a perfect time in translating those long-term, more strategic objectives into more tangible, doable plans. I would say that quarterly planning is a critical part of every manager's way of working, or what I would call operating system. And in doing this quarterly planning and establishing a quarterly focus, you want to extend that into your team, helping them to recognize what are the important things over the coming 12 weeks that I have to deliver. That's the question you want them to be able to answer. So by asking the question, what do you see as the priorities? What you're seeing is what's their thinking like. Are they already ahead and thinking through, in order to be able to achieve my objectives, I need to be working on this, I need to deliver this KPI or this measure. And you want people thinking about what's the important things here. And then by asking them what issues they foresee, opens up an opportunity to problem solve, to ask them what they think they should do, know where you're going to support them. Really important to get that longer term lens on people's work. The more they see chunks of time in contributing to the total, you're less likely to wobble off achieving those objectives. The gaps keep smaller because everybody's just on it and aware where they are against the progress to their objectives. Leverage that quarterly lens of time in order to keep your team focused on what the important things are that they need to deliver in that coming quarter. So if that's the longer term lens, this next question works well in the shorter term. What specific goals or tasks are you working on this week, and how do they align with your objectives? The challenge of weeks, when you're in the week, is time ticks by really fast, doesn't it? The more that you can make sure that your team are on top of what are the important things for the week. Now this, I have to emphasize, is not micromanaging. It's just a more general question of what are your big things for the week? What are you working on? Because it gives that opportunity to assess, is this aligned to those objectives, or is this other stuff that's suddenly filling people's time? And I know managers who do this as a team. First thing on a Monday morning, everybody just openly says, my big things for the week are A, B, C. And making it transparent about what people are working on and committing to do is a great way of encouraging accountability. What people often do then is follow up. Was that done? Did you achieve it? And again, it encourages accountability. So you're trying to that accountability loop you're trying to bring into your conversations. The third question is about what stops people. Are there any obstacles you've encountered that are preventing you doing this work well? It can be on their general objectives, or it could be on a specific project. What you often find is that people can get a bit stuck. When you ask this question, it's normally going to go one of two ways. They're either going to be obstacles of their own. I don't know how to do this. I'm not confident doing this. This is taking me a lot longer. So it provides an opportunity for coaching and support. The second source of obstacles is often beyond their control, or they feel like it's beyond their control, because it could be somebody else in the team waiting on some work, some cross-functional working that may not be working well. And what is great about this is flushing out those issues and then creating a problem-solving mindset to address them. And therefore what it's doing is helping both your team members and you constantly find the best way to get the work done. Very powerful question in helping people spot blockages and then problem solve to address that blockage. The fourth question for a manager is a brilliant time saver. The question is, what support do you need from me? This question plays to the heart of managers jumping in to help when they don't need to help. This question flushes out the challenges and what specific help is needed from you. So I'd always be encouraging your team members to ask for support when they need it. But sometimes they see you're busy, or you've just not connected during the week and they don't want to send it in an email. So they kind of hold back. So this kind of question is great at flushing out what support people need. And the more you know that, the greater the clarity, the less the ambiguity. And therefore, both they will be more successful and you'll know how much time that is going to take. Hence, it's a massive time saver because you're not getting sucked in when you don't need to. The final question is key to building high-performing team members and team around you. And the question is, what have you learned from doing this work? And it's another double hitter. What would make it even better next time? What these questions do is encourage an environment of learning. When things go wrong, as they often do, it is very easy of sliding into much more a blame mentality. What I'd encourage you to do is adopt a learning mentality and encourage that with your team. Because by thinking about problems and thinking, next time I'll do that differently, then you're encouraging an environment of continuous improvement, people getting better in their skills, working together, collaboration improving in the team, and it's a much more positive and constructive environment you're creating. Less blame, more learning. There's a further benefit. It encourages resilience in your team. We all know work's pretty damn relentless, isn't it? And the more you can help people cope with it by going, okay, we learned that. Okay, next time let's do that differently. and being supportive and unblocking and coaching your team members to do that, the stronger both the individuals and the team will be. So it's a very, very powerful question, and it's often missed. So I'd really encourage that. If you want a culture of empowerment and accountability, it's going to take time to build. So the key to this is little and often. And that's why these questions are so powerful. It's having them in your toolbox so that you use them regularly and that you build the muscle memory to go for a question rather than a statement or telling people what to do. I'm going to put them up one more time and summarize them so that you can screenshot them. They are: what do you see as the priorities for the coming quarter? Do you foresee any issues in achieving them? What specific goals or tasks are you working on this week? Are there any obstacles you've encountered that are preventing you doing this work well? How can I support you? And what have you learned from doing this work? What would you do next time that would make it even better? The action from this video is I want you to have it to hand and start using them in the coming week. The more quickly you start to use them, the more they're going to stay front of mind, and the more quickly you're going to build up that muscle memory so they become a regular part of how you manage and lead. I've done a couple of videos now on the questions to ask, because this is one of the things people are always asking me: what does it sound like, Helen? What would be a good question to ask? So I'm building up this repertoire of question videos that you can use. But if you are looking more into developing this coaching style, I would definitely go to this video next, which is the 6 best coaching questions to ask. If you have any questions yourself on this, you can pop them in the comments. I'm around to answer them. Until next time, take care.